Remember when we were kids and made a funny face? Inevitably, our mother would tell us that if we kept it up, God would freeze our face and it would stay that way forever. Kind of an interesting image of God, I guess, to give to a child. On a sadder level, often to cope with the grief and loss of a young child, parents are told by well-meaning friends that God wanted the child in heaven. Well-meaning, but inaccurate, and not too consoling an image of a God who takes children away. Likewise, today we're asked to envision a vengeful God, an angry God, a God of retaliation, and a Jesus who is rude, sharp, and hardly welcoming to the stranger, particularly that Gentile woman in her grief and pain. It's hard to put a good face on a God comment like, "Thus you will realize what it means to oppose me. Here in the desert they shall die to the last man." Or Jesus rejecting the woman with such harsh words as, "It is not right to take the food of children and throw it to the dogs." Do we rationalize these quotations, ignore them, or face them squarely? I suggest the latter, because these two scenes challenge our own image and relationship to God, Father, Son, and Spirit. Do you think that God punishes us for the sins that we commit beyond freezing our face? Isn't the punishment or the results the consequences of our own choices? Do you think of Jesus as coming to reject people or to bring them a powerful level of faith? What I love about this story is the incredible retort of that woman. "Please, Lord, even the dogs eat the scraps that fall from the table of their master." I like to think that Jesus was simply being human, because he was human. And maybe that day he was in a mood. Those days or times when it's best we maybe stayed home and maybe stayed in bed, not interacting with people. You know the feeling. If I'm miserable, everyone's going to be miserable. And I picture Jesus being stopped in his tracks, looking at this poor woman begging for her daughter's health and thinking, what did I say? This woman's faith is exactly the depth that I desire for everyone, and I don't want to foul it up. God doesn't freeze funny faces. God doesn't get even for our sinfulness. God doesn't do anything but love, period. Every other image of God distorts God and the level of our reflection today and our personal responsibility. For in truth, there is one other thought for today. What about our attitude towards friends and neighbors that have hurt us? Our reaction of punishing, retaliating, ignoring, giving the silent treatment, alienating ourselves from them. What is our true self? How biased and prejudiced are we in terms of race, creed, color, or sexual orientation, even politic? With this unique portraits of the Almighty, all-merciful, all-loving God, how ready are we to love, to forgive, and to be merciful to the stranger, and especially to those who are closest to us?